Today I'll be explaining my binary search code to search for a value in an array, in a descending order array, using a recursive method. Here I have my IDE opened, right here, and I have my main method and then my recursive method for doing my binary search. So in my main method I just have my array, the same array that was here in descending order from 10 to 0. Then we're searching for the value 2. This is our target value, and then we're calling the binary search recursive method and returning the value to the result. And then based on what the result is, if the result is not equal to -1, then we're going to print out a string found at index and plus the value in result. If not, we're going to print not found. Now our binary search recursive method takes 4 parameters. It takes an array, the list to search through, and value, the target value to look for, a low and the high. So the low index and the lowest index and the highest index. Now our base class is checking if the low index is higher than the highest index. If that is true, then we can return -1. Then we're calculating the middle of the array by adding the low plus high and dividing it by 2. This will return 5 when I run through the program in debugging mode. Then we're checking if the element in the middle of the array is equal to the value. If so, we could just return the mid as the index found, as the correct index for the value. If not true, we're going to move on to our else if, which checks if the value is greater than the element in the middle. Because remember that binary search deals with arrays or a list that has to be in a certain order, whether ascending or descending. So if this is true and the value is greater than the element in the middle of the array, then we can go to the left. So we can decrement from mid until we find the correct element or index. Else, we're going to call the recursive method, we're going to return it, and we're going to pass the array, the value, and we're going to add 1 to the mid as the low. So we're going to use the middle of the array as our low point plus 1, because we already determined that it's not the middle. So we're going to go to the right of the array because we know that the lesser values are to the right in this descending array. So now I'm going to go ahead and run it. First thing we're going to see is because this is my first breakpoint, we're going to have the list, or we're going to have the variable value with the 2 assigned to it. Let's go ahead and do that. So there we have it, and then we have the numbers that length. Then now we can go to our binary search method. The next thing we're going to have is we're going to have the low equal to 2, no, equal to 0, and the high equal to 10, because remember where the argument is numbers that length take away 1. We know it's 11 elements in our array, so that would be equal to 10. Let's go ahead and run that. So low is equal to 0, high is equal to 10, and the value is equal to 2. Then we're going to calculate the mid. The mid element is 5, and coincidentally the index of the mid is also 5. So no, wrong. So we have it. The mid index is 5 and the element right there is also 5. Then now, since we're searching for this value, now we're searching for the 2 value, we know that we passed this if statement right now, so we know that it is not in the middle. So we're gonna skip this statement also, and we're gonna go into this else scope, and we're gonna add 1 to the middle as the low, that's going to be our starting point. So the next one is going to be 6, as we can see here, and then we're going to iterate and iterate until we find 2, and then the program will stop. So go ahead and run it. We have a low as 6, and then we found the index. I don't know why it does that, but I can run it right now. You can see we found the index at position 8.